Well, Scott Braddock is here taking your finance-related questions. You can text those questions. The number is at the bottom of the screen for you. All right, already we have these questions, Scott. This one says, I'm in need of a new car. Should I take money from my retirement fund or apply for a car loan?
Oh, I'll tell you what, I would certainly encourage you to not touch your 401k. When we save money and we put money away for our retirement, that should be the plan, and we shouldn't go backwards. I would take a look at taking out a loan for that car. Your retirement account should be protected. Allow that to compound and grow. Compounded growth is so important. So please look for another source to take care of that car loan.
All right, let me kind of like follow up with a lot of people say, well, I'm going to pay for some of my child's college education with my retirement fund. And I know usually you say no to that too, but why is that?
Well, the answer is very similar, and the reason is that we can always take out a loan for a car. We can always take out a loan for a house. There is no loan out there for retirement. So please, again, stay away from taking away from money that you've already saved. In fact, I encourage you to try to save more of your hard-earned money.
Okay. This person says, what is the best investment for the highest revenue at the fastest pace?
I'll tell you what, if my crystal ball wasn't broken, I could give you a really good answer there. But boy, that really is, a great question, just impossible to answer. And in all seriousness, I will say this real quickly. The idea is to diversify your investments, try to invest in the economy, and potentially that is going to work better for you than just trying to pick certain stocks to outperform the market.
Yeah, you're not looking for that one big whale to make you rich for the rest of your life. You want to be even growing kind of thing.
I agree 100%.
All right. So this person says, I've worked for multiple companies. Is there an easy way to get all of my retirement funds in just one account so that it can all grow together?
Absolutely. It's called a rollover IRA. And this is an excellent idea. If you've had former employers and you've separated ties from them, you have the option to roll that 401k potentially into your new employer's 401k. However, there is some leveraging and some good strategies behind just creating a rollover IRA. There's no taxes, no fees. The advantages is now you're in more control of how that money is invested. And then long term, there's tax savings and additional planning that can take place. You'd want to meet with a financial professional to get more insight on that.
Okay, I was about to say, like, some people will just do that maybe with their bank if they have an IRA or something like that, but you do need to like talk with someone about this to make sure that it all goes the way that it should.
Absolutely. There's no harm in talking to a financial professional. Many of them, like myself, won't charge for what I call a discovery appointment when I first talk to someone and kind of get to know their situation. You really need to kind of put yourself out there so you can learn what you need to know, and you'll better know what you should do in your given unique financial situation.
All right. And, I think the other thing, too, is when people go to that discovery appointment, then they want to know, like, how much something is going to be when they make that next appointment or whatever. But they're always afraid to ask, which is interesting since you're dealing with money.
Absolutely. And, you need the full picture. You need to understand exactly not only what the fee is, I think more importantly, you need to know exactly where your financial planner, places their expertise, what it is that they do. For example, I'm a fiduciary advisor, and not only do we offer wealth management, but we also offer advanced planning, tax mitigation. And as many folks know, taxes are going to be the tail that wags the dog in the future. So you can't be afraid to ask questions. But Tanya, oftentimes folks don't feel that they have the right questions to ask. And we just have to kind of get used to that uncomfortable feeling and put yourself out there, especially when it comes to your money and your future.
Okay. All right. So we had a quick thing that we wanted to talk about, like whether you're 30 or whether you're 60, and maybe the market's getting all tumbly and you're getting kind of nervous. What should you be looking at, especially when you think to yourself, one of us is closer to retirement than another?
Let me share with you this way. So we have what I consider the accumulation phase of life, and that's your 20s and your 30s. What you're trying to do, hopefully, is just put money away, save money, build wealth. And so if you look at your retirement statements or not, it really doesn't matter. As long as you're putting money away, you're taking advantage of your employer's match on your 401ks, you're making all those wise decisions. Now, As you get closer to your retirement date, however, you're headed more into the second phase of life, which is often known as the distribution phase of life. We need to make sure that we're not taking on as much risk when we are in the accumulation phase of life, and we're starting to gear our portfolio to the purpose it's going to serve us in retirement. So we need to do things different, and it's all about risk. We're going to go from growth to protection, followed by growth. Warren Buffett says, if you don't risk what you don't have and don't need, what you don't have, Warren Buffett says that, I got to get this right. If you don't risk what you have and need on what you don't have and don't need, that's the key. And that was Warren Buffett.
Okay. All right. We're going to take a quick break. We've got your financial questions coming up one more time. We've got one more segment. So get that text question in. Let's get a look at the weekend forecast.